Hey everybody, JJ here on the BX4. It is Saturday, October 10th, 2020. Appreciate you joining me. Hope everyone had a good week. I apologize I did not get a report out yesterday. Had a pretty crazy day here at my residence. But we're going to recap on a few things here, and we're going to look at some news. I wanted to make this video because I want to give my perspective on a few things, and I've gotten a lot of questions here recently over at Twitter, my email. But first, this is a very, very critical time to be hyper alert and hyper aware of what's happening. There's a lot of political, social tensions happening right now. And one of the bases or one of the themes of this channel is how the markets are being propped up right now, artificially propped up to a level that we've never ever seen. Now, I used to do some trading, and if you've been on this channel for a couple years, you know that I used to talk about, okay, what stocks I'm into. I'm doing this option, ETFs, different trades like that, and I used to document those. And people are asking, hey, if you're so sure about what's going to happen to the market, why are you not trading and making money off of it? And they also asked me the same thing about silver. If you're so sure that silver is going up, why are you not all in on silver? Let's get this out of the way. Let's be clear. Make it clear to everybody. I'm not sure about anything, right? Except I am very clear that things are going to get a lot crazier than we can even imagine, and that we need to prepare. Right? And if anyone says they're absolutely sure, then they must have a level of understanding or inside information, or maybe they are an insider. If anyone's that sure about what's going to happen, they must be a multimillionaire, because trying to figure out what's going to happen in this market, it's not possible. All I can do anyways, is show information, give you my perspective, give you my take on it, try to read between the lines on what we're hearing, out of the news, out of the officials that are supposed to be the experts, the guys in the suits and ties that sit up there and they tell us, how good or how bad the economy is. On one hand, they tell us the economy's great, it's the best it's ever been, up until the shutdown anyways. But at the same time, they had to lower interest rates, they had to bail out the banks. So if the economy was so strong, why would all those actions have to be taken, right? So we see through the lies, we see through the propaganda, and we know what's happening with the manipulation. Now we can just try to steer ourselves through this storm, and I think the worst is yet to come. But let's get into some information here. Right now, quick shot of the markets. We had a strong day on Friday, which was October 9th. We see all the indexes in the green, and the Dow Jones back up over 28,500. So only about 5 or 6% away from that all-time high. If we hit 30,000, I think that's going to be the goal of the string pullers, is to hit 30,000 before the beginning of November. Now, there's only 20 days, so that'd have to be major action in the market. We don't know if that's going to happen, but it's a pretty strong market considering everything else that's happening. We see oil back up above $40, gold at $1,936. Silver had a big day, almost a 6% gain, up to $25.30. Now let's talk about silver, because I get a lot of questions, because I talk a lot about silver. And again, I'm not all in or convinced on one direction or another. All I know, or one of the things that I know, is that this market is being propped up. If we see deflation, if they remove the props, you could see gold and silver crash. If we see a deflationary event or actions that lead to falling prices, deflation, falling home prices, falling stock market, if they pull away the easy lending, if they stop bailing out the banks, if they stop the easy money, as we'll call it, then you could see deflation, and gold and silver could decline. And that's the reason I'm not all in. If I was 100% convinced one way or another, I would be all in, right? You've heard the term diversify. I don't think anyone is all in on one thing or another. Would you go all in if you think a stock was going to go up and put everything you have into one stock? Well, some people do, but I would not suggest that, because you're placing all of your eggs in one basket, all of your chips on the table, and if you lose that one time, you've taken away everything else you had to invest, which I think most investors would agree that's not very smart. So when I say something here, it's my opinion. It's my opinion, right? It may seem weird to some of you that I even have to say that, but I get all these questions about, why am I not going all in on silver if I'm sure? I'm not sure, and I don't think anyone is sure about anything. Okay, all right, so let's move on to some news. All right, but I do know that if they keep the props up here, they could easily take this market, this economy, asset prices, the cost of living could keep rising. Even though we have mega jobless, more people than ever reliant on handouts and assistance, they could still keep asset prices rising via the banking system and never-ending printing and lending and spending. All right, and that's why you often hear me say that this economy, it's an illusion. It's an illusion. I'll give you an example. If you went out and gave a $10,000 stimulus check to every American, every working American, or non-working American, every adult, you would see the appearance of a booming economy, right? People would be out spending, they'd be buying cars, they'd be going on massive shopping sprees. You would see what looks like a massive economic boom, but it's really just money printed out of nothing. There's not any production behind it. So ultimately, what happens when there's little or no production and there's a lot of money being put out there, a lot of spending? You see a surge in demand but dwindling supply, and that's a bad recipe as far as inflation. You could see even higher inflation that we're seeing now. We're already seeing inflation in food, automobiles, home price inflation, absolutely insane. And we just talked a couple reports ago about how imports are surging. Manufacturing is not coming back. This economic recovery, as it's being called, is not succeeding. It is failing the people. It's working for the people at the top 10%, the ultra wealthy, the elite, and the puppets that work within the system, but it's not working for most other people. Right? Who is it not working for most of all? Well, the younger generation. Recent article here out of CNBC, millennials own less than 5% of all U.S. wealth. And we talked about in our previous report how the wealth transfer has accelerated, especially in the last 4 years. But imagine being a younger person just coming out of college, trying to find a job that's going to keep up with the cost of living. One, you're lucky to find any job right now. And two, take a look at the cost of living. Let's look at home prices here in San Diego. Median home prices in San Diego County hit $732,000. All right, we told you this was going to happen. No one wants to see this economy fall apart on their watch. Now, what's going to happen next month and the months after that, nobody knows. I don't know. But I do know we need to be prepared for some possibly very, very dire events to unfold. We're seeing a lot, as I said at the beginning, we're seeing a lot of divide in this country. I don't think the country has ever been more divided. There's people talking about a possible civil war, another civil war. That's how bad the divide is right now in this country. Okay, for the banking system, it's easy money, it's endless liquidity, but yet for you and the average American, just to get by, most people have to get into some sort of debt. Now, let's take a look at the recent credit card interest rate. This is just as of this month. This is out of Investopedia. 19.24% is the average APR on a credit card. So with the all-time low interest rates, banks are still making a killing on these credit cards and those people that are not paying off their balance in full every month. Right? Here's another reason why I'm out of the stock market right now. Another glitch, in this case out of Yahoo Finance right here. Robinhood users say accounts were looted, no one to call. Right? These brokerage accounts, they can be very dangerous. You're not going to get the backing of the FDIC. And so if someone swipes this money out of your account, what are you left with? What are you going to do? Who are you going to call? You might have to call Ghostbusters. I don't know. But I have a friend here in San Diego. They had SeaWorld passes for years and years. And with the economy and everything happening right now, all the inconveniences of social distancing, they wanted to cancel their SeaWorld membership. And they said they were on hold for 2 hours trying to cancel their SeaWorld membership. And they couldn't do it online, so they were stuck. They were forced to sit on hold for hours to try to cancel it. And if they didn't, then they'd have to keep on paying this membership unless they disputed the fee on the credit card or something like that. But the bottom line is the more you get your money tied up in places, the harder it is to get out of it. And we see this glitch happening with Robinhood and other online platforms. And it's pretty scary, especially this environment that we're headed into right now. And this is worldwide. We see the scheme of lower interest rates, propping up the banking system, keeping people in debt worldwide. We see homelessness also soaring over in the UK as eviction ban ends. Right? This is a worldwide economic wipeout, disaster, Great Depression 2.0, whatever you want to call it. Hope you are surviving and thriving, keeping your head above water at this time. Thanks for all your support, for your viewership. Please hit that like button if you like what we talk about, and subscribe and notification bell. I've got a lot of people telling me they've been unsubscribed, so please make sure you are subscribed so you can get the latest reports and updates and economic analysis and come back for more. Bye, everybody. Stay well.